Friendship supreme. Friendship supreme. Finding the geek within.
Hey everybody, my name's Michael,
My name's Cleve.
and welcome to a magical episode of Friendship.
Cream. Over here, sweat and glitter.
We're the podcast that dares to ask: Is there any
Why?
good holiday films this year? Last year we reviewed 4 holiday films and found ourselves some gems, sort of, maybe not really. And this year, Michael picked the 4 movies we watch. And this one, this was a movie. What did we watch today, Cleve?
Today we watched Dashing Through the Halls with Ludacris and Lil Rel. And it's a Disney Plus movie. And it's free if you have Disney Plus.
Then I still wouldn't watch it.
And I've experienced it.
It was a movie. It was your typical movie, right? You know, father's estranged from his wife, and the kid wants them to be back together for Christmas, and Santa somehow wedges his way in between that.
I don't even feel like we got the story from the girl's point of view.
No.
It was definitely the guy wanted to get back with his ex-wife.
Yeah, and we didn't even really have a
Or
whole lot of like
don't
why that was not a thing.
Yeah.
Like they were in
Well,
therapy.
Yeah. Because he worked too much.
I mean, his job
would
is
be a-
kind of important. He's kind of talking people off ledges. Like maybe we let
Not
him do a thing.
more important than me. Not more important than me.
Why is that a common theme in holiday films?
Oh yeah, you're
It's like
a
a
lot
Scrooge
this year.
situation.
I don't know. I feel like there are some jobs that like maybe you give me slack.
Yeah, you kind of a little slack for like just have a little more understanding, like that maybe some things are happening. But also like this guy, Ludacris, hates Christmas because his house was robbed when he was a child by a mall Santa.
That's a fair reason to hate Christmas.
Yeah.
Small Santa like broke in.
The wife knew why, or at least it seemed she knew why. So like also maybe be understanding as to why he hates Christmas.
Yeah. It's funny because so at the very beginning he goes and he tells Santa, "Hey, my dad's not been around. I want him to come back. Buy him a fishing pole, and then say it's from my mom, and then they'll get back together." And Santa looked at mom and saw a ring, and he was like, "What's your address?" And I forgot I was watching a Disney movie, and I was like, "He's gonna try to get with mom." And then that's why I hate Christmas.
I immediately was like, "Oh, he's gonna rob him." Everybody's getting robbed right now.
I thought he's gonna be like, "What's up?"
Not only is he gonna rob him, but he then made Ludacris describe Christmas as the chicken wing of holidays.
Loved that line.
Not a lot of meat for the amount of effort, was what he said.
Overrated.
Why didn't you like that? Why didn't you like that line, Cleve?
That's what I was like. Who wrote this? And then I was like, okay, moving on. So bad I wanted it to be like Dashing Through the Hoe with Ludacris, like the good old Ludacris that I know growing up.
Yeah.
But
now Ludacris is all about family. He's all about family. He's about family.
So much family. He's a background of family in the resume.
I would have literally given everything. I would have made this my movie of the year. I would have put my Oprah book of the year, book club fucking stamp of approval. Had Vin Diesel come in the end to save the day and been like, it's all about family. Would have fucking lost it.
I would have done that if it went dashing through and it went, you the hole. I said, you the hole.
We had was it
DMX?
it was a DMX song.
It's always that song. Boy, Disney loves to use that one.
The irony, right? That we're using DMX
And-
music, but sure.
And not the friendliest song either.
No, not at all.
That's a Kid Bop song for sure. It's definitely not a. You can't get the uncensored.
But the premise of this movie is essentially there is a corrupt politician that's trying to collect bribes, and somehow Santa and the corrupt politician swap tablets because Santa's on tablets now, right? But you actually don't know that for 3/4 of the fucking movie, by the way. They don't ever, other than one time the crooks are like, somehow he got the tablet, but we don't see that scene until 3/4 of the way into the movie.
Yeah, he mentions that he also has a tablet because he keeps the naughty and nice list on it.
Right.
But
every time he sees them, he's like, oh, I don't know who they are. In a real sketchy way, he's just like, oh, I don't know who they are. They're just chasing me for some reason. But like, if he replayed that scene, he definitely knows what happened.
Yeah.
And then we get to see that scene play out again 3/4 of the way into the movie, which made no sense.
But also, he was doing it to help Ludacris again. It's very murky. Very murky in the reasoning of why this movie had to exist.
It's a lot. I'm going to tell you.
Because were you stopping the politician? Or were you helping Ludacris love Christmas? Or were you helping a family get back together?
Well, because he thought the politician was away on vacation. Remember? He thought he wasn't home.
He lost. And needed to get back.
Never in a million years is Oscar Nunez intimidating. So he should literally never play a villain.
I think he could be a sneaky politician.
He's too.
He can't be. When he was like, "Do you want me to go?" I'm like, "You can't muscle me." No. But like, you can definitely like, "Oh, I'm going to use a law to threaten you." Like yeah, I can play that.
Just don't buy him in a bad guy position.
So, we meet Santa, and Ludacris and his little girl, who should be home with her mother, go on just this long adventure.
But instead, she's out shopping because you know what we always say: "Shop, mama, shop."
Mm.
Bro, I wrote that down. I was like, "Because you know how them women be: shop, mama, shop." I'm like, "Come on, this is."
It's okay because the daughter's
rough. No, this is rough. This is.
You can think it's Scott Rosenberg for that line.
Fucking Scott Rosenberg needs to never write for them again.
And so we go through shenanigans, and then we find out about the tablet switch, and then they kidnap Santa, and then Ludacris fights to get him back out, and then Ludacris believes in Christmas, and then the Christmas is saved, and the wife forgives him. Just the gist of the movie, right?
That's the gist, yeah.
Let's start positive. What did you enjoy? There's one thing I thought was cool. I can go first. You can take your time going back through that fucking thing. The reindeer creating like a path they ran on instead of like flying.
That did look cool.
I thought that was cool, and it makes more sense. More of like a Thor, Bifrost bridge type of technology instead of them just straight up flying by kicking their feet real hard. That was it.
If I had to pick something, I guess Santa jumping out of cars.
To do that multiple times.
Just like, we're at my stop, and then just rolled out. And the reason I like that, I guess it took me by surprise and I laughed.
Yeah. There was a couple times I was like, but that's like the most it got. And it was like twice. And what's weird is, so I'll try to pinpoint what I didn't like about this.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the dialogue's the worst.
Dialogue's real rough. It's very forced. It's like a child wrote
movies.
It's
for
like
Christmas movies, it's bad.
It's like Ludacris's daughter wrote it, right? Like it was like a child wrote how this should go.
Because I don't know if you know Lil Rel, who played Santa. He's a comedian,
Yeah.
and I like him, and I like Ludacris. So why didn't this work? If I like both these guys, I think besides the dialogue, which I already mentioned, I think their chemistry was terrible. It did not look like anybody had fun making this.
Fair.
It looks like we came in and we clocked in and we made a movie and I'm out. They didn't seem like they even really went through anything together like actors would, and I guess that's fair. They're not both really actors.
Right.
I
Well,
never
hold on a
realized how
second.
Ludacris's face was until he wasn't giving like a look. When he's just a straight face, I'm like, this man's got a long face.
Lil Rel was also in another straight to streaming platform movie, like at the exact same time.
You're right. The horror movie, right?
Good Burger 2.
Oh no, not that. It's trash.
Wait a
no,
minute, that
but-
was so good. Oh, never mind. We're not even gonna get into it.
It was so good.
Okay, it wasn't so good. It was
Okay.
exactly what I needed it to be to
Okay, I
compliment
just
the
want
first
you to reel
one.
it back a little
Yeah,
bit.
okay.
It was so
Well, I
good.
want
It was
someone to like trash it.
a straight at like burst out compared to this fucking Oscar. I'm sure.
No, I watched someone trash it for like 30 minutes, and I just want to point out, like, it was if you liked the first Good Burger, this one was also the exact same movie. But
No,
anyway.
he's in a movie called The Mill. It's
Yeah.
on Hulu, and I mean, as far as I can see from the trailer, he's the only person that's even in the movie, and he doesn't look like he does bad in that. So, and I mean, when I think of Ludacris's IMDb without looking at it, I think Fast and Furious, right? Hard to not think about Fast and Furious. And funny enough, this is not his first Christmas movie because he was an elf one time. And then was he in Crash?
I would have been able to say Fast and Furious. That would be it.
You know Crash.
I don't know Crash.
It's a musical. You know Crash.
I don't know Crash.
It doesn't help when I go to like him on Google, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movies. 5 of them are Fast and Furious.
It was in
Then
Crash, for what it's worth.
Okay, that's the one everybody liked it. I don't remember it. I don't think I ever watched it. He was a Max fan apparently. He was
John Henry.
Fuck,
Yeah, we sure did do a whole thing about John Henry. It was a solid ass movie.
Yeah, you go further back, it gets worse. But like, I mean, he's good. Fred Claus was the other Christmas movie. He's good at being him.
Yeah.
Some people are that's just what some people do.
God, he was in Gamer.
I guess another inmate, I guess. There's not a lot of characters in
it
that
just
movie.
says somebody's brother, so yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't like any of this. I didn't like the karaoke thing. I didn't like the other house with the guy from Entourage. I liked, you know what? I like the Santa tracking family.
The Truckles.
Yeah. The only family to get screwed out of the whole thing and not actually get something out of this event. They were key in like saving Santa.
Even Oscar got the present he'd always wanted.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oscar got the present he'd always wanted, which was his origin story. We say
It was rough,
and then
he didn't get a karate action figure, so that's why he became a corrupt politician. Is a rough stretch.
And then Ludacris got a dog and a wife back, and then this family, who always believed, got zip. We couldn't even get a nicer van. Maybe like your pager, so that like, we can talk to you or
cool.
Something.
Cool. Yeah.
We really screwed that family.
I don't know if you were counting. I lost count at about 17 different Disney products we pushed or mentioned.
I did not.
Like shows and just random things, like they popped up every once in a while.
I remember hearing something and going, is that Disney? Because it seems like a Disney thing to do, is talk about their Disney
They were like, I want to have somebody to sit on the couch and watch Blackish with.
Yes. Yes. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's ABC, so it was definitely Disney owned.
there was a car chase that was just the worst.
Yeah.
I was God, but again, if you'd have gave me Too Fast, Too Furious, you would have made up for it, but you didn't. You had an opportunity there to cross universes, and you chose not to.
Go ahead.
And then the Santa is like, your friend Bobby fucking likes trains, and this person, they do that. This Santa needs some sort of HIPAA law because he just told
He's
everyone's
leaking
business
everybody's business
out loud all the time.
Meanwhile,
to anyone that would listen.
Meanwhile, he could have just said the things that happened to Ludacris as a kid, and that would have made him believe. Instead of being like, "Oh, your friend likes this and your friend likes that."
Oh, and then you find out that he had a handwritten letter from Ludacris from when he was 8. That would have solved a lot of confusion. Hey, how'd you get this?
Yeah,
I gave this to Santa when he was 8. When I was 8. That's wild.
The villain's entire plot hung on the idea, like when he originally was trying to collect his bribery, was relying on his goons dressing up and going out caroling. I wrote down
goons to hire, by the way.
Yeah. I wrote down carolers are not a thing anymore. That's not, especially in like big cities like Atlanta. Like you're not walking around. Have you ever seen a caroler walk around in your neighborhood?
No, but I also don't look for them, I guess.
They just don't, like, that's not a thing that, like, they don't go door to door anymore.
Bring it back.
because nobody wants to see people at their front door, and we have a world where if you knock on the wrong door, you possibly get shot. So like that's why these things don't exist anymore.
Don't do that.
So I was like, why is this what we're? But then they did have the Tones knock on the door and then carol, just so that we could say, here is it.
Who is this? I know it's got to be somebody. We're lingering on them.
Yeah, I had to look it up. It's the Tones. It was, Shop Mama Shop, man. It really, really got to me.
The crowd surfing Santa's rules. How about 2 of Santa's rules being like just bodily functions?
Sweating glitter and farting cinnamon.
Yeah,
we gotta get a fart joke.
I mean,
in there somewhere,
cinnamon,
right?
not cinnamon.
You gotta get a fart joke in there somehow, though. How else are we gonna?
Part of the actual cinnamon, it would be like sharding.
How many times did we have to say or have other people say, "Wow, you really don't believe, do you?" Because it was like 7 times.
They were acting ludicrous.
He did say they were acting ludicrous, and I hated myself for laughing at it.
First of all, who says the word ludicrous anymore?
I think the only time I've ever heard it in a movie other than from Ludacris was Spaceballs. And then they go to ludicrous speed.
Doug, we know you're ludicrous. You don't do this in the Fast and Furious. Don't do this here. At some point, someone make a stand and go, I'm not saying this line, because that's dumb.
Yeah. At one point in time, Ludacris's character...
That must have been good. That must have been a good check.
I hope it was. You know what? I hope they got money out of Disney for this. At one point when Ludacris is jumping over the fence, it's a dumb thing to have noticed, but my wife pointed out that the fence was made of rubber. Like the top part, because he went to go over and you'd see it just kind of go... You know, it's the small things.
How many times since you've seen it have you cookied up?
He did ask for cookies a lot, and he at one point was like, "My blood sugar's low. Is Santa diabetic?"
You gotta cookie up, Uncle. How do you cookie up?
You grab the cookie and you put it in the air, and then you eat it. And then he's like, "So you're just eating a cookie then?"
You know what? That's probably one of the times that I like chuckled, because I think before he delivered his line, I went, "You're just eating cookies."
Just eating the cookie. Yeah, 100%. Had I gone into the warehouse with all of those people dressed in Victorian age clothing celebrating, I also would have been annoyed and upset. There were multiple times where I empathized with Ludacris's character. Like, I hate all these people. I also would be like, we're just going home. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, at one point in time, when Ludacris is running to stop Oscar Nunez as the villain, he's
It's
out
Harf.
there. Harf, yeah, thank you. The Truckles allow this little girl to also then scale the fence and run after their dad or her dad. That feels really irresponsible.
That ain't their kid.
At the end of the movie, this had to be sponsored by fucking Uber, because at the end of the movie, Santa easily could have fucking given him a ride, because that's the least he could have fucking done. And he said, "All right, bye, have fun," and then left. And then he shows up at his house. You really could have given me a ride then. It would have saved me a lot of time. I hated
Monica
this
Rambeau
movie.
was in this.
Hated this movie so much.
But Monica Rambeau was in it.
I
Ayanna Paris?
hated this movie.
That didn't save it for you?
No.
How'd you feel about the kid actor? You're notorious for fucking just absolutely hating kids.
She wasn't terrible. She wasn't
Yeah.
bad. Like, she was a kid, but she wasn't bad.
She's been in some stuff, apparently. What's Ivy plus Bean?
I kind of no idea.
She was also, this is not her first Christmas movie. She was also in a movie called Best Christmas Ever. Brandy?
Oh, that's this year too. Maybe we can watch that
And
movie.
Jason Bigg and Heather Graham. You know Heather Graham. You don't know her, but you know her face.
This looks terrible.
I mean, oh, you're being surprised by what's happening.
This looks rough.
The poster, I don't know what it is. I haven't read it, but the poster makes me think that they switch partners.
Oh, swingers. Nice.
Yeah, best Christmas ever.
Yeah, no, there was not a lot of positives in this movie for me. I was not pleased with it, and I
was a
wish
rough
that
go.
it would have never happened. Was it?
It was a rough go for
Yeah.
sure.
I'll leave it on this with you, Cleve. Can you tell me a single gift you ever remember asking Santa for?
No.
Because this is a trope that they do in a lot of movies with Santa Claus. I don't believe in Santa Claus, and it's like, oh, well, when you were a little kid, you wanted that one action figure that you could pull the teeth out of and pretend you're a dentist. And he's like, oh my God, I did want that. I don't remember shit that I asked Santa Claus.
Let me say, I will say, I think that if someone was like, you wanted this, remember? That I'd probably be like, maybe that's the whole thing. It's just a fucking trick with your head. Because if someone was like, if my mom was like, yeah, you wanted this, remember? I'd be like, oh yeah, that does sound like a thing I would want. So maybe that's just a fucking trick. Like, remember, Michael, when you wanted that Ninja Turtle figure?
Oh my God, I do remember that.
I mean,
You're Santa!
there's got to be at some point. I gotta hit a fucking. Maybe he gives an age, so I guess that's a little different. But I've got to hit a year somewhere, right? It's like the people who are like, did someone lose someone whose name starts with an M? Like, it's that kind of same vibe.
We're getting scammed.
No M. I mean, A. Is there an A?
A letter that sounds like M, E, A, those kind of letters. Oh man, I hate those people so much.
Was the second letter a vowel? Maybe.
I hate them so much.
That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling Marcus right now. He said that the shirt's okay.
Everything's okay. Oh, good.
Is that he forgives you, and just remember what he always said. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what that means.
Did he have
maybe that means.
Did he have a catchphrase? Did he have a catchphrase?
If you're listening and that meant something to you, go ahead and comment down below. Let us know what Marcus means to you.
This should be this next episode is just being like,
God, we're charlatans.
If the person's name with an M, skip to 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the video. If it's not, keep listening. I'm about to get to you. Hi.
This is how much we like this movie, is that we're doing anything we can to derail from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Out of 5 cookies, how many cookies does this get for you?
Oh, I've smashed the cookies.
Ugh, yeah,
They
it gets
get
like a
no
half. It gets like a
Does it
half
have to
cookie,
get a
maybe.
cookie?
I'm gonna say half a cookie.
Does it have to get a cookie?
I guess not. They made the movie, so I'm gonna give it. They made me laugh like once, so I'm gonna give them a half cookie.
Yeah, have a cookie is fine. They can have a cookie.
But it's not gonna be a good cookie. It's gonna be like
No,
just
it's a
oatmeal.
stale cookie.
It's just oatmeal, and it's just.
No, oatmeal's too good enough for these people.
That's fair. This is a fucking stale ass Chips Ahoy from like 2017.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, if you liked, if you saw this Disney Plus Christmas special movie
we're really
and
sorry if
you
you
liked
this.
it, let us know
Like,
what you
our
loved
bad.
about it, and maybe we're wrong. We're not. If you haven't seen it and you're like, maybe I should see it, heed our warning. It's not good. There are other movies out there. We'll be having episodes every week this month talking about different Christmas movies, so make sure you guys check in. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I've been Michael.
This is Cleve. Fucking, I'm upside down like a Prince bat.